Thank you so much, Shekha, for this inspiration. I would now like to invite CA Sunita to take us forward. CA Sunita, please. Yeah, thank you.
Thank you very much, CA Rohana. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Very pleased to be your host for the next session. The aim of the International Women's Day 2023 Embrace Equity campaign theme is to get the world talking about why equal opportunities are not enough. If you truly believe in forging an equal and inclusive world, then you will truly believe in the need for the world to better understand the difference between equality and equity. Equality is giving everyone a shoe. Equity is giving everyone a shoe that fits them. World Economic Forum Global Gender Gap Report 2022 reports that the gender gap has been cumulatively closed only at 68%, and gender parity may not be achieved for another 132 years. The key element in this scenario is to seek a balance and leverage the dynamics of a gender balance rather than stressing on equality. We have today an eminent speaker who will dive deeper into in Asia Pacific. To learn more about Ms. Abha's numerous accolades, may we have the AV, please?
Abha Maryada Banerjee, leadership author, speaker, and thought innovator. TEDx speaker, Abha is the India Goodwill Ambassador for the Beti Zindabad campaigns of Action Aid, a UN agency that works towards making gender equality a reality. She is also the author of the best-selling thought leadership book for women, Nucleus: Power Women Lead from the Core. Founder of Success India, the people building company, and Asia Leaders Consortium, a non-linear think tank of leaders from across Asia, her expertise is teaching individual achievement, leadership in motion, human peak performance, and emotional intelligence. As a pioneer in the human potential space, Abha introduced mental strength and peak performance coaching for Indian Olympians. India got selected for the London Olympic Games and won eventual medals at the Commonwealth Games as a result of the coaching and training. She is the recipient of Top 100 Thought Leadership Amongst Women 2022, Women of Excellence Award 2017, Brand Builder of the Year 2017, Rex Karmaveer Gold Chakra Award 2016, Dainik Bhaskar Women's Leadership Award 2011, among others. Abha Maryada Banerjee.
Abha ji with a big round of applause.
You know, so I can see everybody is awake now and they are probably going to listen to me only because of that. All right. So thank you very much, everybody, for staying here till the end of the day. I was wondering why I was put in the end of the list to speak to all of you. So I thought maybe if everybody leaves, what happens? So I checked with her. She said, no, we are keeping you for the end just so, you know, maybe we can have people stay back. I said, good, I'll try my best. We're talking of equity over here. So Amrita ji, मुझे आपसे एक बात पूछनी है ना. Actually, this was not in my plan. But we're talking about women empowerment, we're talking about women, we're talking about inclusivity, we are talking about equity, equitable, and all those nice words that are there. But you sang a song, so this was not in my list of things to do, but with your permission, because I'm not a singer. But I'm a communicator, so if my message has to go out, and if it is done by bad singing, will you allow that to me? It does. So if my message gets across, so all of you are in for some bad singing, but some good words, sung by Shubha Mudgal, written by Prasun Joshi, from her album Manke Manjire, and it goes like this. Acha bura ho to, sorry, yeah. मैं झील हूँ उकता गई हूँ अब चाहती हूँ बहना बौरा गई हूँ जो भी यहाँ आता है खामोशियाँ लाता है सुलझे हुए लोगों से तंग आ गई हूँ मैं झील हूँ बहुत सुलझे हुए लोग हैं everybody knows everything about what a woman should do, right? उस रोज एक लड़की मुझको जगा रही थी चुन चुन के गोल पत्थर लहरें बना रही थी कुछ उंगलियां उठी और खामोश हो गई वो बल खा रही थी अब मैं गश खा रही हूँ Now this. पानी का एक सच है वो सच है बहते जाना रस्तों को छोड़ देना रास्ते नए बनाना चाहा नहीं था मैंने मैं रोकी गई हूँ मैं झील हूँ उकता गई हूँ बोर हो गई अरे I want to be a woman of my own self. I don't want instructions. You know, I don't want to be told what to do. I'm good by myself. Look at her. Look at her. Do we need instructions? No. Come on. We can lead the world. Come on, yeah, come on. He said, come on. Come on. Right? You know, when I was pregnant, my mother was pregnant with me. I'm sorry. Yeah, and I have one elder brother. So the family told her that we want 4 sons. One you already have, next one. So my mother and father obviously they don't know what the child is gender is going to be. But we want 4 sons. If it's a daughter, bad luck. The kid is gone, the mother is gone, everybody is gone. So what my parents did, you know, very smart thing they did. They ran away from there, and they came to Delhi. So I'm born in Delhi, I'm raised in Delhi, so I'm a Delhiite. I can call myself a Delhiite thanks to my parents' runaway tendencies. You know, so they both ran away with my 4-year-old brother, came to Delhi, and so I am here today, speaking to all of you thanks to my parents. But the story didn't end there. Because they escaped their family, but they could not escape society. There were too many do's and don'ts. And literally we found over the years that people look for other people's flaws. No genuine encouragement, no genuine appreciation. We don't like to say good things about other people. We love to say the bad stuff. It's more engaging, huh? Bad stuff is engaging. Maza aata. We are not going to be talking. So I was very clear. I told everybody, I said, listen, I don't want to be told. I'm only going to listen to my parents. They know what I need. They know who I am. So now, who has made this instruction manual for women? Where is this coming from? Aapko pata? No, I'll tell you where it's coming from. Society to baad mein hai. So, no, maybe, I have the answer. So, now where is this instruction manual coming from? My parents had did a pivot, so my story is very different. So I don't need that instruction manual. I'm not living by it. So now I've all the time on earth to do what I want to do. I'm focused with the question, what do I do in my life? I don't run by that instruction manual. I'm not poised, I'm not coy, I'm not good looking, I'm not tall, I'm not pretty, I'm not any of those things. I'm not a nice girl, I'm none of those. Therefore, I have to write my own instruction manual. Thank you. I don't need yours. You don't need it, right? You don't need it, right? So I said, okay, what should we do now? Now this is where the problem is. The first slide, so the first 3 slides I'm going to show you is going to be about history and biology. You know, some little stuff we'll do, some fun stuff in the beginning. But these 3 slides, I want all of you to be very clearly looking at this and listening and seeing if you can embrace this one, because we're going to be embracing, and this is all to all the men also. Right, sir? Sir? It's for you too. Yeah. I'm sitting in the so, yeah. So I know you're reading this very carefully before I even say it. You'd be lapping it up. But I'll tell you what the problem over here is. The problem is that this whole thing, there is a war of word and image, because this whole women thing and men thing has started at this time when the alphabet was introduced by the men. And men, like always they are, they don't think about women. Right? They don't have to. They're not inclusive enough. You know, they did not write about women. They wrote the alphabet, they wrote about everything, they forgot the woman who was the goddess prior to that. Hereafter, the balance shifted completely, you know. The masculine values came in, men's domination of women came in, and everything is now bound by the written word. We've all read that written word. We also read that word. Now, we pick the stuff that we like. We don't read everything else. We don't like to read the stuff that's not for us. Yes, we say we pick what works for me. I don't pick the rest, all right? I'm going to leave the rest. So here is what happened, that it all became bound by the written word, and the goddess died. You know, we still worship women in this country. Amrutaji talked about divine feminine. We worship goddesses here, you know. Every morning, even the best things in the mornings that we look at is Durga, the Lakshmis, and the Parvatis, and the Kalis, and you name it. Every god is a woman in the first place, right? And where is that coming from? And how have we forgotten that? You know, why don't we think about it? So this is where it is. This is where it started, and it has gone on forever, coming into a space called patriarchy. Now we are fighting with patriarchy for how many generations? And nobody's bothered to think, why am I fighting this battle? This is not my battle. This is a battle of somebody, some idiot over there who wrote the alphabet. Why did he write that alphabet in the manner that he did? Right? So let's see what we can do about it. So because this is the principal means of communication, everything, expression and words and whatever we want to talk about, and here it is dominated by a male version of what it should be. So all of us have read that, you know. So it is good for education, good for understanding, but it's not good for what is happening between men and women. It's absolutely, actually unnecessary. We're all born with different abilities, you know. So if we were listening to Shekha earlier, that your abilities is what makes you. It doesn't the rest of the stuff doesn't matter. So if you're creating value, sir, if you're creating value, if I'm creating value, I'm good. If you're creating value, you're good. I don't create different value because I'm born in a female body. I create value per se. Period. Now, why don't we start looking at things that way? So this is what happened. Today also, if we look at the whole thing, the whole fight is that a woman is an image. Either it is a physical image, which is how she is identified, or it is the image that we think the woman should be. You know, nice, quiet. What else? Well-mannered. Talk less, soft-spoken, no fighting, no shouting, shy, accommodating, adaptable. Please add the adjectives. ये मेरी टीम से बाहर गए, ये मेरी बुराई कर रहे पीछे से. हाँ, so अरे हम देंगे नहीं अभी आपको मौका, बाद में देंगे. So अभी हमने बोलना शुरू किया, आपका मौका कहाँ आएगा अभी? हाँ, so अभी now the man is the word, woman is the image. And this fight has gone on in a very subtle manner through the written word. So this is where we are. So from the first slide, if we can understand that if we were to throw this out of our system, that you know all this patriarchy that we are fighting, men are like this, women are like this, and there should be like this, वो should be could be को हटा दें अगर, तो we are fine. You know, this is the first part. The second part is, I love this slide. You know, I show it to, and this slide is going to rake up some triggers in this room. The male trigger. All right. So if you see that, 11 to 13 weeks over there. That one, the 7th bacha over there, fetus, you know. Around this time, all the women over here, first of all, a round of applause for all of you, because you'll just see why. You'll just see why, all right? So 11 to 13 weeks, this fetus over here, before this we are all gender neutral. But over here, shots of testosterone go to the brain of the male child, who's supposed to be the male child, XY chromosome. Before that, it's XX. So the male brain shrinks. I shall repeat that. The male brain shrinks in order to, this is biology, sir, nothing to do with any of it. So, yeah, don't take it personally. It's biology, science, right? So the male brain shrinks because of the shots of testosterone in order for the male to become the hunter-gatherer that he is supposed to be biologically. I've said a good thing, right? So far, yeah. Now, but the female remains, so the communication centers of the male brain get shrunk. The female brain remains open. Why do we need that? Why do we need that biologically? Because we are nurturers, we are mothers, we have to bring a child into this world and understand what the child wants, apart from understanding what the hunter-gatherer wants. Ha ha. That is the more difficult part, right? You know, but imagine bringing a child into this world and being able to understand what that human being wants. And to be a mother or a caretaker of somebody like that, from the mental, emotional, physical, their food things, their growth, everything, every milestone is being taken. And so we need a bigger communication center because of that, because of the intuitive faculties, the empathy, the love, the emotion, and all the nice things that can come with being that nurturer. While the hunter-gatherer goes out, now these days men work, then also they went out to hunt and gather. So it was the women who carry that faculty, which are now called leadership qualities. It's true. Empathy chahiye ki nahi chahiye? Intuition chahiye, empathy, emotional intelligence, adaptability, taking the teams together, training, patience, persistence. Oh, you have it all. Why are we worried about anything? Why are we fighting? Right? So there is a gender intelligence factor that women have, and they do not know that the best part about their life is their communication center. Now what have they done? They've raised children, they've taken care of hunter-gatherers, and they've wasted their communication center completely. Because they did not fill it up with stuff that could be good for them. So if you had a leadership quality which said that I have biological intelligence, I have some extensively powerful communication capabilities, I have the emotional intelligence to do this, these are skills crucial to business success, these are skills crucial to leadership. And here we are, completely suppressed, not being able to be that authentic person because we have not trained ourselves to do that. Now communication, as far as I know, everybody is told, oh, talks too much. When I was a kid, everybody said, she talks too much. My parents were embarrassed. So they would say, please, if you can reduce. And after a certain point, people said, take some money, shut up. So I said, no. I will take money to speak. Don't worry, I'm going to speak so much that you can't come and tell me, speak, because I'm making sense, right? I'm making sense, so you're asking me to shut up. Now here is the problem. Our biggest strength, because of our biology, has been suppressed to a point that our communication has been reduced to nothing but trivia, right? It's trivia now. How many women will go out there and say, I'm a master communicator? So from this second slide, if I can give you anything, become a master communicator. Biologically, you're supported by your body and your communication center, while the men are supposed to be, for reasons that they need to focus. So I'm being nice now. Right? The reason that they have to be focused on what they have to do, therefore, that shrunk brain version, focused version, the hunter-gatherer version is all right. But you have a bigger communication center. Now, why are we not using that? If you fill it up with stuff that is good for you, good for others, and good for the stuff that you're doing, now you are making good use of your biological intelligence. So this is our strength, which has socially been turned into a weakness. We are not allowed to speak. everything that we say is either objected to, opposed, called wrong, or name it. So this is the second part. So each time now I am teaching men emotional intelligence in Asia Pacific region. Same problem. So women have emotional intelligence. Men have to be taught emotional intelligence. So when they question me, I remind them of this. I said, sir, please open up. Try. Some spark has to come from somewhere. Come on. Come on. I'm trying to inspire you. Come on. So it's by way of a joke. But this is the biology that we carry. So if biologically we are supported to have bigger communication centers, so if women started to use their communication better or learn or train themselves to communicate, now this is a leadership skill, is it or is it not? It is. Now the third one over here. Now otherwise we are struggling with ourselves. I go tell her I'm not okay, she goes tell her I'm not okay, she sulks and then she feels sad and then she has to get up and then she goes talks to her husband and husband say I don't have the time, I have to go hunt and gather. So this is what goes on and on and on. Women are pitched against each other, against themselves. So one big skill, communication. If all the women over here can raise both their hands and say, all right, I have a gender intelligence housed within my body and I'm not going to let it go. Come what may, society say what they want to say, I am not letting that go. And from today onwards, this day, after I leave from this room, I got to master my communication. Let me fill it up with value. Let me fill it up with good stuff. Let me fill it up with positivity. Let me fill it up with things that matter. Let me go out there and do something. More. We're talking about equity. I'll show you how equity is then achieved. Now the third part is this. We are also called very emotional. How many women have been told that? Only? Aris, come on. Come on, let's be brave. Let's be brave. How many have been told you're too emotional? Too much this thing, everything is about you. You start crying and you start whining and you say every time you go, once you start, you never stop. How many of us heard that? How many of us have heard that? I've heard that. Because I don't cry, but once I start, I don't stop. That is true. I don't stop. I'll stop only when it is over. So I'm not going to stop before that. So emotion is yet another capability that women have. I just showed you how. Why? Why do we have it? But we do not use our emotions intelligently because we've not trained ourselves to do that. Our emotion is a free-flowing emotion that we use in our daily life and it scatters all over the place. Now when it comes to doing something and emotionally we are not strong enough, emotionally we haven't strengthened ourselves, mentally we have not strengthened ourselves, the emotion works against us. That is what we have all done as women, that we've allowed our emotions to flow around there and in whatever manner that it was flowing. If I'm angry, I'm angry. If I'm sad, I'm sad. If I'm whiny, I'm whiny. If I'm gossipy, I'm gossipy. If I'm envious, I'm envious. If I train myself not to do those things because they are harming me as much. So this is the power, the third power that we have. So from the 3 slides, one must always remember it's alphabets. It's not men. It's the alphabet. Maybe it was written by a man, but all of us over here, well, forgive that man. Let him go. Let's move on, Shekhar. We move on. I say we'd rather move on, right? So why hurt these men over here? For that man, right? So let's cut the man out, divorce the man. You're welcome, sir. So let's cut the man, divorce the man out of the alphabet and say it is the alphabet. So once it is the alphabet, I'm free. I'm free. Now I'm free. All right? So now I'm free. I have a communication center which is bigger than everybody else. I have it housed in my biology. I have a gender intelligence. Why am I not using it? Then I have my emotion. Why am I not using my emotional intelligently? That is also very important. Now here was the situation that came in my life when I realized that I am looking around myself and saying, what are people doing? Finding flaws. Everybody was distressed. People didn't have, I was talking to Smriti in a flight coming, why do people not, I was around people who just didn't get up and do stuff. And I would look at them and say, you have a problem? So they'd say, we can't do it, this is how life is. So that dialogue was a little bit of a, it disturbed me. If this is how life is, then who's supposed to change your life? No, this is how it is. I'm in this circumstance. This is how it works. This is how it is. So it looked as if, there was nothing that could be done. And I am from that era, dinosaur era, where everybody thought nothing could be done. At least women thought nothing could be done. Everything was ऐसे ही है, चलने दो. हो जाए, ऐसे ही है. So I was very, very paranoid by the fact that I looked around myself and I asked myself this question, why are they so distressed? And there were people I'd say, get up, it's your life. And they'd say no. And somewhere down the line I said, we feel good about heroes, right? We feel good about people who are doing good stuff. And then we don't get up and do it ourselves. And that was when I said, okay, this is where it is. What is equity? I have seen Smriti. Smriti is equity in action. Shekha is equity in action. Amrutaji is equity in action. Noha is equity in action. Sharmila is equity in action. Because equity means how much action can I take in my life when it is needed and be in the right place at the right time to do the right thing. And for that, I need to go out and take action. So I was all of 14 or 15, I think. And I told everybody who was senior to me, listen, you don't know how to live life. They beat the hell out of me. Said, don't come and tell us how to live life. You don't know anything. नए बच्चे हो, हर बात में बीच में टांग अड़ाना है. हाँ अड़ाना है. टांग इतनी सारी भगवान ने दी, चलने के लिए अड़ाओ. जिसको अड़ाना है अड़ाओ. So I had serious issues with the fact that why were people not getting up and doing what was needed to be done? Like if I can see it, why can't you see it? But then I realized that they did not love themselves, neither did they love their life, nothing else. So they were following the instruction manual. And I had no instruction manual. So my life was cool. No instruction, no manuals, no nothing. Do what you want to do. Enjoy life. And that was the time I was a student of Swami Vivekananda. And 30 words from Swami Vivekananda completely changed my life. All of us over here may have heard those words or read somewhere because I put them up many times on my social media. And the words go like this, 30 words. Sirf 30 shabd hai. And those 30 words were totally taken. They still today drive my life. And they are men, men, men. Men, and he also meant women. Men, 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 these are wanted. These are wanted. Not the hunter-gatherer men. Men in general. Men, 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 these are wanted. Everything else would be ready, but strong, vigorous, believing young men, sincere to the backbone, are wanted. Sincere to the backbone. 100 such, and the world becomes revolutionized. Acha hai na? I still get goosebumps. So I heard this when I was only 9 years old. And these words have never left me. The men, 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 these are wanted. Everything else would be ready. But strong, vigorous, believing young men, sincere to the backbone, are wanted. 100 such, and the world becomes revolutionized. And I thought as a kid that I wanted to be one of that 100. I had no clue how. But somewhere looking around me, when I saw everything is so nice in the scripture, everything is so good in the books, when I meet people, nobody wants to get up and do anything. I said, okay, we will create that people will get up and I asked all of them, what is your problem? So somebody was in fear. Somebody was under social construction. Somebody said, I don't know how to do it. Somebody said, oh, it's my mom said, don't do it. Somebody said, my neighbors are going to say this. Somebody said, oh, no, I think I'm not capable. Somebody said, I'm not able. It was a very negative construct of the human mind. And I said, okay, I found my calling. At the age of 14, that is the first claim of equity. And I said, listen, I will go and do everything that I need to do for myself. And then I'm now taking upon myself that I'm going to tell everybody else what you can do for yourself. That is where it all started for me. And a vision around alternative education came into being. And I said, okay, this is 14. And the vision then came into life when I started and initiated the human potential industry in India in 2009-2010. So I pioneered the human potential industry in India with the same thought that everybody, you deserve success, you deserve happiness, you deserve everything. Why must anybody live any less? And why is anybody living any less? Because people have to get up on their own and figure out ways, like you, Shekha, to find your happiness. It could be anything, right? And people don't do that. And when you go and ask them, Why you're not doing it? You're so capable, you're so this, you're so here, so what is stopping them? What is stopping them claiming their own equity on this earth, saying that I exist now, this is what I'm capable of, this is what I want to do, this is where I feel good, this is what is good for me, this is what makes me happy. We don't say that because we stand in the back and say everything is nice because they say so. So there is all so much of they. So I said, okay, let me be a little bit more selfish. I'll say I. So we'll do I, me, myself a little bit from a very good perspective, that if you become a good person, you help 100 other people. If you become a person, Smriti, you see, if she acts, 18 million people would be helped. 18 million. You see the number? 18 million people. Now that's a good number, right? So why are we not doing it? What is the issue? So then I said, okay, let me start now. So I started looking for ways to do these little things where I could make that little difference, possibilities. And slowly I learned that I could express my potential and then go and teach it to somebody else. Then I would express my way of living, the high potential way of living, and then ask other people to follow that. And that brought me to write books and etc. I just went on and on and on, and it's expanded so much, it's not funny. It's taken me to about 20 countries, and this is 21. And, and apart from that, 45 odd awards, 1 million people having new employment, and lots of other things that have happened around it by that one thought, that my equity is me. I'm the only person who takes action if I want to do something. I could be doing it for myself, that's equity. I could be doing it for everybody, that's equity. I could be doing it for 18 million people, but equity is claimed by me, by my action. It's not given to me. When we talk of equality, we are talking of measured numbers, saying, okay, this is gender gap, this is salary pay gap, this, so on and so forth. But at the end of the day, it is my life. It's a good 60, 70 years to make a difference to your life. We are given a lot of gyan that will change the whole world. I say change yourself first. And if you do that, believe me, you can change the entire world. You can go and do what you want to do. There are ceilings, there are no, I would say there are no ceilings, but there are barriers which need to be broken into, that need to be pierced. There will be challenges, but if you live this way, believe me, there is no traffic there. There are not many people who live like this. I don't have to stand in the crowd. I can stand by myself and do what I'm doing. So now, starting from that vision at the age of 14, to initiating the human potential industry in India, and to say that it was called Success India. You know, the project started off called Success India. This is 2009, sir. So I realized that I'm ahead of Modi ji. He started all the India thing in 2014, right? So I was very ahead of times, yeah. There was another thing I did ahead of time. I was showing to this one, Sharmila just now. So you saw that book, which was a bestseller in the US. India, it has not become the bestseller. India में लोग कम पढ़ते हैं, तो किताब भी इतनी मोटी सी है. So I was showing her, I said, Sharmila, this is something I wrote in 2012. This book became a bestseller in US, UK. And in the author's note, it says that so far there have been fights for equality. But nucleus is a revelation of equity that we possess within the world and how we must build and live that space. Owning the rights and freedoms as an experience must become the ultimate social leverage. It's your life. Nobody's, my parents have brought me in here. They ran away from a small town to Delhi, but that's the best they could do. Now hereafter, whose responsibility is it to achieve the, whatever in your mind there is, whatever in your heart there is? Why are we waiting? Who are we waiting for? Who will give it to us? Anyway, women are not supposed to do a lot. मिलना ही नहीं है. लगे रहो. पूरा आधी life निकल जाती है, खत्म हो जाता है. Confused and struggling with how they can express their lives in societies that are rife with gender issues, this may just be the answer to women's leadership. So this is the book that you people just watched on the screen. So this is a 2012 book. So Sharmila, still ahead of time. So I probably decade ahead of time. You are doing Embracing Equity now, 2023. I did it in 2012. Clapping for me, huh? So this was the initiation of the human potential industry in India. So this is where I have beaten Mr. Modi. So आपको नहीं बताना था ये वाला. sorry. No, I've done nothing. So, usko bhul jao, usko bhul jaiye. Forget this one. So this, it's a vision for all of us who are people who feel a sense of patriotism toward the country, then we have to work towards it. And this was more about human potential, where we thought that the word success is a misunderstood word. It's more of a stress word than being a good word, that everybody over here in this world needs to succeed in their own little way, whichever one they want. And they must learn to do it. So if you say, I've got fear, I say, okay, I'll tell you how to get out of fear. You say, I have a problem, acting out in front of other people. I say, okay, we have an answer for that. So we are now converting that whole thing into television, visual medium thing, so that we can reach out, not just to people in India or anywhere else, but to people across the world. So that's the next part of the project, right? So now this is the part that changed. Why this whole thing happened in my life, I want to tell a personal story. Have permission? Choti si ek story hai. Meri height कितनी हो गई आपके हिसाब से? 5'4"? Thank you, sir. That's because of the shoes. Yeah. कुल मिला के 5 foot है. 5 foot nothing. So I call myself 5 feet nothing. Right? I'm 5 feet nothing. Right? And because of that reason, I am a very good basketball player, but I am not included in the team because of my height. You have to have minimum 5'4". So I am a good player, but I'm not in the team. I'm frustrated. I'm desperate. I cry. I whine. I go beg, but nobody takes me in the team. So now what happens, one such fateful day that an inter-school match is going on, 11-12 standard hoga, and suddenly my sports teacher called me and said, listen, come here. One of the players is not there. We need an extra. So what? Extra? Wow. I'm in the team. I'm an extra. And I'm sitting like an extra over there. I am happy being an extra. अरे कुछ तो मिला. No, अगर किसी तरह से टीम में घुसो तो घुस गए टीम में. तो first thing they teach you as a mindset for an extra is that you have to, पहले तो आपको खेलने को मिलेगा नहीं. Your number नहीं आने वाला. If at all the number comes, if at all you get an opportunity to play, you are supposed to dribble the ball and pass it to the main player. That's what we are taught as an extra, that if at all you go inside, your job is to make sure that the main players you facilitate the main players' game. So you dribble the ball, pass the ball to them. I said, okay, good. Now we are sitting there, 30 all is the score, 3 minutes to the match left. I am asleep on the side, number ही नहीं आना पाया, आराम से सोते रहोगे. And उसके बाद मिलता है क्या? समोसे, Fanta, refreshment. So mind is somewhere else. Waiting for the match to end, that we will get refreshments and we'll have fun and so on and so forth. We know number is not coming. We're not going inside to play. And when we sit outside, what do we do, sir? When we are watching even Sachin Tendulkar out of the television screen, we sit there and tell him how to play. Ouch! Oh, Marani, mar. This is what we do. I was doing the exact same thing. I am sitting outside and telling every player over there, if I was there, my God, come on, there's noise, there's like 200 odd people from 3 different schools shouting, fighting, cheering is going on, 30 all, 3 minutes to the match. And when I'm talking to myself, if I was there, I would have done that. I have no idea what happens. The captain of the team falls, bruises both her knees, is bleeding, she's called out of the court, and my coach is on the other side of the court, and he looks at me and he's, come on, and I am still sleeping and thinking of Fanta. And I said, God, you heard my prayer? Did you hear what I said? But this is not nice. You made the girl fall down. This is not good. But anyway, I ran inside, and now my mind is still in the refreshments. I pick the ball, like an auto reaction, you're like dribbling the ball, you're going everywhere, and, passing the ball, this and that. The mindset sets in, immediately the mindset comes in that you have to literally facilitate the main players. I'm doing just that. 1 minute goes by, and the ball passes from in front of me from the center line and goes out. I get an opportunity to again pick the ball and throw the ball back into the court. 2 minutes to the match left, and it's still 30 all, and immediately as I pick the ball, my auto reaction, the mindset comes in, and I pick the ball and I'm ready to throw the ball and pass the ball. Now pass where? इतनी लंबी लड़कियां, जगह ही नहीं मिल रहा, pass कहाँ करेंगे उसको? तो उसमें मेरे को, I got 5 seconds to sort of look around. I could not find a place to throw the ball. Otherwise, I would have thrown the ball. Within those 5 seconds, I don't know what happened, and I realized, I said, "Arey, it's 30 all. We just need 1 basket here. What if I take that basket?" I'm standing on the center line, and this is probably against the rules also. You don't do those things. You know, so I looked at it and I'm looking, everybody saying, pass the ball, pass the ball. Pass where? Pass to who? I don't know. I can't understand pass to who, man. And now here I'm standing, pass the ball, and I suddenly realize if I take that basket, we win the match. Otherwise, the ball goes back to the court and we'll have a penalty shootout and then we'll see what happens. But this is the moment. So I turn my body like this. And all my kinetic energy, potential energy, physics comes into my mind. I don't know from where. And I can see I'll have to throw the ball 70 feet diagonal from above these girls in order to get to the basket. From here, I can look at my coach and say, what? So in the sporting language, we talk like this, you know. So my sir over there says, what? And I told sir, watch. You know, from the side of my eye, I can see sir doing this. Something is coming up, so they could see what I was up to. And I just turned a little bit this way. Diagonally, I'm sort of positioning myself for that shot. And I hear the girls over here, everything blanks out. I can see them shouting, pagal hai, ball pek, what are you trying to do? What is going on? And everything just slows down. If you see, if there are moments when you see in movies, no, everything goes zzz. So that was a zzz moment for me. And everything I blinded out completely from those people, those girls shouting, screaming, everything is blank. It's me and the basket, and it's the ball, and it's just that moment. And I say, okay, this is the moment of equity. I will claim the part that I can do. Nobody gives it to us, right? I claim the part that I can do, and I made that basket and we won the match. And of course, I got a lot of Fanta, lot of samosa, lot of masti. But this particular incident made me realize that gender was never an issue. Do you think gender is an issue now? A man could have done it. I did it. I did it at 5 feet. I did it in a dismal circumstance. Only 2 minutes to the match left. Everybody shouting against the whole idea. But it happened, you know. So it was a possibility that existed in that moment, and that is equity, that if you can go reach out to the possibilities that lie before you, don't let all the gender things stop you from saying, no. Don't let somebody come and tell you, listen, this is not the way you do things. You know, do it this way. This is better for you. We don't like the way you do things. Don't let anybody tell that to you, because when it is your moment to go out and do what you can do, that is the moment of equity. And if we can create that in our everyday life, believe me, you are going to be way ahead of the world. So where I'm coming from having parents run away from a small town, to not being able to get the right kind of support even in the beginning of my life, to standing here and talking to you, it's been a long journey, and it's not been an easy journey. It's not been easy. It's not been, nobody gave it to me. But then I said, Sharmila earlier said level playing field. We are asking other people to make a level playing field. There is no level playing field. It will not be like, she said earlier, 130 years. I'm saying 300 years. There will be no level playing field for us. So we have to create a new play field. How many women over here, and I would also ask support from the men, how many of us over here would think that we can create a new play field where these rules do not exist?
I'm already living that life.
Good. So now, when I started doing this, I had no idea where this was going to go. No clue. Clueless. आ गया, vision आ गया, vision के पीछे चल पड़े. It's been 35, 40 years now. Not a day has gone by when I have not lived this vision. Not a day has gone by when I have not worked on it. Not a day has gone by when I have not reached out. I have failed so many times. I have been rejected I don't know how many times. I have been thrown out of a good 123 offices. मैंने count करके रखा है. कहाँ से धक्के मार के बाहर निकला गया, कि नहीं हमारे लिए नहीं है ये. So it's been, so if you have something good to do, if you can go out and say, listen, I am capable of this, and why, where do we have to take it back? लेके कहाँ जाएंगे ऊपर? किसके लिए छोड़ के रखना है? And this goes for the men too. I have seen many men, all in my people in my life also. They could have done a lot more. And if I were to ask everybody over here, how many of us think that we could have done a lot more? So sir, why are we not doing it? Equity. हम बताएंगे आपको communication center से कि कैसे किया जा सकता है. not for the outside environment, would our performances be different? Yes. If it is not for this, so nobody can alter, attack, disturb, or tell you what to do in your internal environment. So what can equity do for us is to create an environment inside of me. And I think I'm very inspired by Shekha and Smriti both. You know, Amrita ji, who has literally taken it upon herself that I don't care. I'm, where I may be in a privileged space, but that doesn't mean I don't exist. It's important to raise that voice, right? So if you are able to do that, that your inner space is unperturbed, undisturbed by any rejection, any social conflict, anybody who comes and says anything to you, anybody who says you're not a good this thing, or whatever it is, I don't care. Because I know from here that this is what I'm capable of. So with a show of hands, I think everybody over here will know that, and everybody would not have thought about it in the manner that I'm saying. Today, if you have to ask yourself, are you capable of more inside yourself? You know that you can do it and you have let that go. How many of us have done that? All of us, right? And that's what it is. Equity means, I don't care what's happening outside, but equity means that today, this moment, I'm not wasting a single moment of my life. Not a thought, not a word, not a thing, not an occasion, not an opportunity, not a trip, not anything.
It's me and myself.
Yes. I have to beat me, right? If at all. So I keep looking at other people to say, come, I am a winner. No, I'm not. I mean, who cares? Right? But if we become a little bit appreciative of ourselves, we may be in a position to do that. So this is the part. Now, the first 3 slides, sabko yaad hai? I made an impact, sir. See? I knew some things matter. You know, so no, sir, you have to remember the hunter-gatherer part. Also the shrunk brain part. Because in my seminars, I have to tell sometimes when men get edgy. So I have to tell them.
Communication and emotion.
And emotion, yeah. These 3 things are powers that we all possess, have been totally underutilized, underplayed, have never used them properly, have not built on them, have not mastered them. So promise to ourselves today, all of us to each other, I'm going to build on these 3 things. Alphabet is only acceptance, that it has come from a shrunk brain. Let that man go.
He died.
Jaane do. Well, he died. He's out of our lives, right? So we will just pick the alphabet part, understand from our own education that this is not how it's supposed to be, and move forward from there. But communication and emotion, which is the most important part of life, that if husband and wife are fighting, what works, sir? Communication. Ukraine is fighting with Russia. What works, sir? Communication. India and China are fighting. What works, sir?
Communication.
Rahul Gandhi and Modi ji is fighting. What works, sir?
No communication.
No communication. Modi ji works. Yeah. So Modi ji's communication is way better than anybody else's in the country. So he is a genius, if I can say that. A huge fan of Modi ji. Genius that man is, right? You look at the way he communicates what he does. So much to learn from there. Now the last 4 slides are the things that we need to master. If we were to talk about equity, equity means, like I said, what is it that I am capable of? And I have to be brave enough to go put it out in the world. I'm not waiting for other people to tell me what to do and what not to do. I'm not interested in that, because unless and until I am in my heart wanting to create value in the manner that I can. I'm not saying I want to, this is my arrogant way of being that I want to do this. No, I can. I know inside myself. And biggest example here, the lady here, Shekha, she says, I can. You know, look at the kind of difficulties she's gone through, apart from her fractures. You know, that.
More that I haven't mentioned.
Yes, yeah. So with her puppy eyes and charming look, she has managed to beat that bullshit. Right? So I like. Yeah, I like that. So now, once you know it from within. A child knows. When we ask children, little children, what do I want to become? आप बड़े होके क्या बनना चाहते हो? वो मेरे को पायलट बनना है. उसको पता होता है. और हम सबको पता होता है. लेकिन हम उस पता होते को छोड़ देते हैं सबके सब. You know, we don't follow that, because we just sort of move away from that center. And if I can find that center of gravity once again, equity happens. Now, differentiating personal value, this is one that needs to master. That all of us over here, मेरे बुराई तो नहीं कर रहे ना, हाँ पे ठीक है, हाँ हाँ मुझे लगा मेरी बुराई कर रहे बीच में से. So now differentiating personal value, because you're ultimately at all times you're acting. Yes? To go? Okay, okay. So going inspired, good, and I hope you stay inspired too. All right, bye-bye. So now when we do that, we have to understand it's about, can you see a brand in her differentiating value? Can you see it in Smriti? Can you see it in the girls who came up here? Can you see it in that lady here, the one in white? She has a different persona altogether. Can you see it in here, the gentleman here? Yeah, we met him last evening. आपके में देखिए, इनमें देखिए, अलग से ही दिखाई दे रहे, चमक रहे बिल्कुल. हाँ, बिल्कुल, charm, glow देखिए, बिल्कुल. So this is very important to understand that what is my differentiating value, because my personality is one that goes with me everywhere, and somehow we put the personality back. We try to gel, we try to fit in, we try to be like others, we want to be, accepted, appreciated, God knows what all. But at the end of the day, I am still different from everybody else, and it's foolish on my part to be like everybody else. I might as well own who I am as a person, become a person of differentiating value, that each time I go out there, people know that Abha is coming, she means business, she is talking, something that matters, and she wants to create impact within a period of 40 minutes. Let's see if she does it or not. So this is it. This is how we create our differentiating person value. So what stops us from going out and doing that is our own personal interference. We interfere. Like all the things. And it's not just the women. I'm sorry to say it's not about the gender thing. Even men go through that. And I know so many men, I work with so many of them across the world, that all of them have been carrying things inside them which have stopped them, blocked them from going out there and doing what they were really looking forward to do in life. They do not get genuine encouragement. You want to say we want men, we want to be like a man, be a man. But what does that mean? Nobody tells them that. And I know how many people have been crushed under that, to say that I wanted to be this. I'm not saying do this. Be this, I could never become that. Because everybody told me be a man. Everybody told me this is the way what a man means. Go out there, do this. Go out there, do this. This is how it is. So the same rules that have broken down women's lives have broken down men's lives too. So I think a round of applause, we've teased them too much. A round of applause for all the men in the room, please. So yeah, despite all the brain shrinking joke that I cracked, which is just biology, it's not from me, and science, yeah. And but I because I'm a good student, so I use it sometimes, and it may sound, and sometimes it may sound like a joke. It isn't a joke, but it is a truth. But it is a very, very good truth for us to understand what is my strength? What is my biggest strength? So if my strength is communication and emotion, and men have to communicate from a focused perspective, then they have that strength. And if they have emotions which are not shrunk but suppressed, they have to become more intelligent. So we know there are gaps over there, we can fill those gaps. So that's the first part. So if we can do this, if I become the optimum version of me and focus on doing that, there is much to do without, we don't have to know the how. I got to know me. That's it. And then I go out there and figure out. We can figure everything out. Everything is figure outable. Let's go out there and do. Are we brave enough to do that? Can I just go out and say, I want to do this?
Yes.
I can. You can. Huh? We can. We all can. But we stop ourselves. And why do we stop ourselves over here? Is only because of all that social conditioning we come and says, you be a woman, you be a man. And then what do you do after that?
Act like one day.
Nothing. Nothing. Live your life 70 years and after that stay frustrated, dissatisfied, angry and bitter, and all those kind of things come into life, which we could have totally avoided if we understood this. So my equity means that I am living my best life now. I am doing my best at this point of time. I am mastering everything about me. Why do I have to take back what God has given me? Where do I have to take it? What will it do in hell? I have to go to hell, sir. यहाँ से जाने के बाद I am going to hell. पक्का. So what will it, all these talent, these gifts, these speaking abilities will do in hell? Batao. Nothing. Right or wrong? So we have to be able to understand that we have to bring it all down here. And equity means I claim it here in the present moment as to what I can do. So with that, just one thought, to think that I have created an industry. It took me a while to sort of accept that. Then somebody said, you've got this, bade award wala. So I said, oh, recognition For what? This was just this vision that I had as a kid. But can you see how big it can get? Just because you're able to deal with the equity part, and equity is my personal thing. I have to claim it. Nobody tells me what equity means. Slowly we create a play field where we can all go out there and live with equity and do what we want to do, right? The next one is the change part. How many of us understand change? We've heard that word. I know it's a nice word, but none of us have been told that this is one of the biggest things to master. If you want to grow, if you want to be a person of high value, if you want to be a high potential person, you have no idea what is coming the next minute. So if you do not have the capacity and the ability to change, you are doomed. Right? So most of the people get doomed because this part, when it is the time to do stuff, when it is the time to change, they are not trained to tell their mind to move up the ladder. They stop thinking. They will stop and think, whether or not. So they will measure, they will calculate, and they'll do all kind of things, and all it would have needed was change. Some change. So what is change? Am I able to mentally shift myself? That I liked you so much, but you came and stabbed my back. Will I be able to see, oh yeah, I didn't understand. But mentally, if we can shift ourselves, and which is what we teach in all our seminars, that change, mastering change. What have we been taught? Linear. Jitna shanti se life kate utna acha hai. Not too much disruption is not nice. Convenient, comfortable, linear, everyday, same to same. I'm happy. And here are people who say, okay, if I'm bored, if there's no change, there's no disruption, there's nothing new to do, I am not able to find my equity, come in and say, where am I doing? How can I live the same life the second day? It's a new day. It's a new set of people. I met so many new people today. So now how can I live the same thing over and over again? मैंने ये वाला joke जो एक बार मारती हूँ अपने seminar में आज 6 बार मारा. Change, because the audience is receiving the joke. So change it, so put it together. So now if I have to ask everybody, what about your life, that one thing if you did not change is going to harm you?
Attitude. Our attitude.
It's up to you, personal. What is that one thing that you think you can't, if you did not change, it's going to harm you for the rest of your life?
My attitude.
Your attitude, sir? Sorry? Regret? Yes?
Shrunk brain.
I have made my point, please. I made my point. I need a round of applause, right? So, what is that one thing in life, sir? Thank you for that. That was good. I believe you. So, what is that one thing in our personal space that if I did not change would harm me even further? We know it. We all know it. Self-doubt. Okay. See, Mahesh, right? No, I'm sorry, this one is serious. I'm sorry, this is serious. Self-doubt, sir? आपका कोई है? Same है? आपको? Communication, sir? Procrastination, आपको? Perception, आपको? सबको पता है क्या करना है change. उसके बाद भी नहीं करा है. You get my point? Now that is the part that we have not been taught in schools, colleges, homes, anywhere, or even in our workplaces, that we have to become people of quick change. If I understand that this is harming me and it is about me, my goals, my personal thing, I have the capacity to change that. Nobody does it for me. And I know it. I still live it. And then I continue to harm myself. And then after harming myself, I go to him and I say, sir, I need your coaching. He says, I will charge you $1,000 an hour. You pay the $1,000. And after the coaching, you say, I'm not satisfied. So you see how the cycle goes. अपने आप ही कर लो. खुद ही कर लो, पता है change करना है तो. Exactly. बचेंगे, पैसे भी बचेंगे. So now here is, it's a cycle. Unless and until you break that pattern and the cycle, it's too difficult to move on with life without causing harm to yourself. So if we are talking about women's equity, it's men's equity, everybody's. Equity is simple. It's for everybody. Right? And equity for me is very clearly the action that I can take in my life to create what I want to create for me. That's it. Beautiful. Right? And because I will go for my job, I will get married, I will have children, I will raise them, I will do whatever I need to do. But there is something that inside myself tells me, what am I capable of? Am I bringing that out into the world? So I will again be pushing myself against that barrier, against that gender inequality, against those places that say not you, not a woman. When I started the industry in India, sir, I was very happy. I said people will lap it up. You know, it's so good. And when I came, they said, क्या है? So I said, what, क्या है मतलब ये देखिए इससे लोगों की लाइफ बदल जाएगी, human potential इतना हो जाएगा. If we don't change individuals, we change nothing. So they said, no, ज्ञान हमको सब पता है. So sir, this is not ज्ञान, this is true, this is science, sir, this is motivation, this is पता नहीं क्या क्या medicine, psychology सब सुना है. Nobody listened to me. For almost 4 years, I had to work for no money, just to prove my point. Until I got my opportunity with the Olympians, and I coached them, I had to beg to the government to say, please give me 3 athletes. I'm telling you this is going to work. And they literally sort of agreed out of, I had to bring in private people, I had to bring in Prakash Padukone, I had to bring in other people, other private institutions which were willing to support the sports people and brought me in as their mental strength coach. And India for the first time got berths at the London Olympics in 2012. Right? And I was like elated. I said, sir, I proved my point. And then क्या medal ही नहीं मिला? Oh, कहते इतना मेहनत करी, medal तो आया नहीं, madam. You have failed. Now we've got berths, but we got no medals. I said, sir, we got berths from nothing to berths. No, ma'am. Medal है तो medal है, नहीं तो कुछ नहीं है. So आप फिर हाथ जोड़ना पड़ा जाके, sir, please. Sir. 2014 Commonwealth Games, we got a gold. That was the first time that people started to believe what I was saying, that it works and why it works. And when we talk about it, so now nobody told me to go and do this. But it happened. And after that, since 2014, the government obviously is putting a lot of emphasis on sports and everything. But I thought sports is the best way to go and prove our point, because that's the way we look at sports. You win and lose. So people have to see a win in order to believe you. That's what it is. So like she was saying, I have to prove myself to other people. So that was a very, very taxing time on my mind, that I really had to look around myself to see who is listening to me. Nobody listened to me. Anyway, after that, everybody said, okay, ma'am, we've heard everything that you said. But why you? So I said, I have explained the whole thing to you. I've spent my entire life doing this. Now, what is it? Why you? So I was very agitated. I said, listen, I'm going to answer your question with another question. And they said, what is that? And I said, sir, why not me? And after that, they hated me. Sir, they never let me enter their office. So that is what happened when I said, why not me? So this is how it is that we face these barriers every day. We have to understand what I am able to create, and that's all that I need to focus on to make it worth my life. I'm not making it worth everybody else's. If I can add value to others, good for me. If I can't, at least I have to add value for me first before I can do it for other people. So this is the third thing that we have, the biggest power. One is my differentiating value, one is the power to change, the last one is the choices, that how many of us over here make conscious choices and not work on auto.
Mostly it's auto mode.
And that means that once you make a choice, you are totally responsible for your action and for the choice that you made. So I'll give you a very cute example, like a dirty example, you know. So unconscious responsibility for those choices, going through the consequences of those choices, wasting our time and life fighting those choices and the consequences, and then sitting back bitter and saying, listen, I wish I made a different choice. Right? So this is what happens to all of us. So alphabet, याद है? Communication center, इस टेबल पे याद है? हाँ जी? Emotion, intelligence, ये तो पूरी मेल टेबल है, नहीं एक है मैम बीच में. हाँ. सर आपकी तरफ से इधर इस तरफ. हाँ, याद है? Differentiating value, who you are as a person, differentiating value, याद है? हाँ? Change. मास्टरिंग चेंज याद है, चॉइसेस याद है. तो अभी जैसे हम लोग अब अल्टीमेटली व्हाट डू आई हैव टू परफेक्ट इन ऑर्डर फॉर मी टू बिकम अ पर्सन ऑफ इक्विटी? माई सेल्फ. इन एक्शन, Equity is life in action, and every action will have a consequence that will bear a consequence on your life, on your emotional life, physical life, mental life, spiritual life, professional life, financial life, every bloody aspect of your life, and then we don't even think about it consciously and let it keep going like this. That is lack of equity. Manual. So now, if I were to perfect anything, is to perfect myself. In my strengths, in my power, in my emotions, in my mind, in my thoughts, in my belief system, in my spoken word, in my speech, in my intention, in my way of being, in my life on a day-to-day basis, that I know that tomorrow is not guaranteed. And I'm not saying about money. I'm not saying about anything. I'm not saying about success. I go out of here, I don't know if I can get back home. How on earth, with that kind of reality, if we understand that, we allow any minute of our life go waste and we do not want to master ourselves? Your equity means you. You go claim it. Nobody knew when that little child in my mother's womb would do what. Even I didn't know. Even my parents didn't know. Nobody knew, but only you have to pick yourself up and say, oh, listen, this is what I can do. Right? So you go out there and you perfect yourself and you compound your progress and create a body of work around you that on the deathbed you have no regret saying that, listen, I wanted to do this, I couldn't do it. I need 7 lives, sir, to finish what I've already planned on paper. Yes, it started. It needs a lot of time. So now, a lot of people will be struggling with saying, okay, how come this is possible? She's talking, but will it work? Is it too good to be true? It is, sir. It is too good to be true in a very good way, because it is possible. We are all living, I think we are all very senior people over here, so I don't have to give you the basics of anything at all. But if we look at life, do you think, everything has to start thriving in your life? How many of us can say, I thrive? Thrive. Not survive, not live. Thrive. पीछे वाले जितने भी लोग बैठे हैं ना, 2 हाथ से हाँ, thrive. अभी क्या है कि नहीं है मुझे नहीं पता, लेकिन from today, I have understood a couple of things. Not all for that, you will have to spend time with me for 3 days. I'll pakao you like nobody's business, and then you will go transformed. So I've tried to do that in 40 minutes if something can go into this space. But having said that, from today, I think everybody over here has to pledge. If you can all stand up for a second, please. Okay, I can go up now, right? So with the first is the right hand over here. Right hand. Right hand. So please say, I am. And in your mind, you don't have to say it loudly to anybody else. Who you are, tell yourself, I am. Anybody who wants to speak out loud is free to do that. I am who? Good. Who else? Yes, we need more supermen in the room. Fighter, good. I am who? I want one word that you can carry back with you. I am who? I am who? Good. I am who? I am who? Or thank you, sir. I will exchange name cards with you. I am who? This table with the girls here. I am who? सर सोल वाला बाद में करेंगे, अभी के लिए इधर जमीन पे आ जाते हैं, ठीक है? Yes, I am the power. So can everybody say, I am the power? With the second hand say, I have the power to thrive, not just survive. So from this day on, I pledge to this entire room of big communication centers and 50% shrunk brains, that from this day on, I pledge to myself that I have the power to thrive, because I know I can let the man go. I know I have to master my communication, because that is where the world runs. I know that my body is full of emotions and I need to intelligently use them. I know that I have differentiating personal value. I know that I have to master change, and if I don't do that, I'll be harming myself. I know that I have on this earth exceptional choices, and it is in my hands to make those choices, right? You have a backbone. Sincerity to the backbone. The pledge goes with you and stays with you, and please don't break that promise, right? So now what happens, sir? Please, everybody can sit down. Thank you. Big round of applause for all of you. Thank you. Thank you. So I'm just running out of time. So the last part is right action means that at a given moment, what's the right thing to do is what you do. And there is no rule book. So you will be breaking many rules. Because the rule is what is it my feeling inside my gut? What's in my heart? What's in my mind? What's my capability? What do I want to go out and do? That is the rule. So this is where it is. And now when I say women's equity, how many women? We have some very special women over here who have some extremely powerful acumen when it comes to accountancy. I'm very proud of all of you. I could never do that. I dropped from CS for accounts paper. मैंने CS किया हुआ था, अकाउंटेंसी की वजह से छोड़ दिया, नहीं हुआ मुझसे, अच्छा नहीं लगा, मतलब थोड़ा सा मज़ा नहीं आया. So मैं नहीं हूँ, मैं थोड़ा बिग पिक्चर आइडिया में चलते रहता हूँ, तो छोटे में नहीं होता मेरे से, हिसाब नहीं लगाया जाता मेरे से, so मुझे थोड़ा प्रॉब्लम होता है उसमें, कॉन्सेप्ट समझ में आ जाता है, बाकी काम नहीं होता. So now there are no rules, there is only opportunity, there is shortage of people who gets things done, and if women can get into that space. We always, who said earlier that if you want to get things done, ask a woman? Somebody said that. Amruta, yeah, right? So now you have to, when you have to get things done without cribbing, crying, women are the right people with the right skills and the right ways to get things moving, right? So I end it with a small story over here. And how do you do all this? Somebody will ask me, you've told us very nice things and it all looks very, gyan kind of thing. But is it a good to listen thing, or is it something that I can also do? So the little story that I want to end with is that when I became a lawyer, are there lawyers in the room? No. None? Ek bhi nahi hai? Oh, good. Because this is for the CAs, na? No, फिर भी law भी पढ़ लेते हैं साथ में ज़बरदस्ती में, हाँ. So when we become lawyers, the first thing that happens to us is we are orientated to go to courts. And what do we do in courts is that we are trained to go to courts in order to get the nervousness out of the body out, and we have to speak one line. And the line is, Your Honor, Your Honor, my senior is out of town. Can I please seek adjournment for 2 weeks? Now this line, if you are not good, you can speak for 5 years and not get ahead. So it is not to say that you don't understand law, but it's for you to get the nervousness out of your system, because when you're standing in a court of law, there's a judge, there's a set of people there, it's intimidating, the atmosphere. So I was very good at this line, sir. I was, I rattled the line, and every day I would go, Sir, Your Honor, my senior is not there, can I seek a date for 2 weeks? Okay. They knew it was juniors, and I became very smart. I was believing in myself that I have become very smart. And I can now go and get adjournment from any court, from anywhere. All I have to do is say, Sir, ye wala halat ho gaya tha. I had become like this. I was so smart. And I was, Sir, Your Honor, my senior is not in town. He's gone to Mumbai. Can I seek a short adjournment? Now that day, the judge probably saw. Badmash bacche. He said, sorry. Now this we had not learned. Out of syllabus question aa gaya, no, we are not giving you adjournment. Now the matter was worth 10 lakhs. This is way back, sir. 10 lakhs at that time was a lot of money to play with as a junior. And my senior was in Mumbai. Now judge said no adjournment. Now, all this, all this swag. 2 minutes mein, sir. Sir, please, sir, please, sir, has bilkul, sir, change, immediate change. And sir said, no, I'm sorry. Go to the library, prepare. I said, sir, please, sir, I will get thrown out of the job, sir. Sir, please, sir. Sir, please, sir. The please went on for a good 7 to 8 minutes. He said, sorry, not happening. Please go to the library. Do you know the case? I said, yes, sir, I prepared it. Go study. Come back at 2 o'clock. This is around 10:30 in the morning. I'm sweating. This is winters. I'm sweating. I go there. We study. We go out and prepare everything. And after that, I come back at 2 o'clock. Sir says, ready? Yes, sir. Start. No voice. Still nervous. After all the preparation. And the judge sat down, and immediately after 10, 12 minutes, I got started a little bit. Then I spoke for about 55 minutes. And he heard me, and they're supposed to pass an order after hearing you. And he made me wait for another 15 minutes. It was a near-death experience for me. I did not know. Sorry?
Then did he give the judgment?
No.
No, he gave the decision.
He said, you wait for another 20 minutes to get the order. Now I'm wondering whether the order will be a positive order or a negative order, because it's 10 lakh bucks of the client. Now I'm very worried. I'm still shaking. I'm still very nervous. And he got up from his seat and he said, I have not seen a person as foolish as you. I said, what, sir? So I said, foolish? In front of the entire courtroom. What? Basically, humiliation. And I'm like sitting over there, I said, what, sir? Sir, how can you call me foolish, sir? So he said, no, foolish. Absolutely stupid. So I said, but why, sir, I have prepared, sir, sir, we don't have the mandate to come, sir, only for adjournment, sir. Again the sir. He said, shut up, you, sit down for a second. He made me sit down. He said, listen, you have become a lawyer, and I gave you the opportunity that every law student would have dreamed of in their entire life, and you came to the courtroom without being prepared for that opportunity. Even if your senior tells you go take an adjournment, you should have been prepared. Why are you not prepared? So you people wear this black coat and you wear this band and you look very crisp and you're like wearing your polished shoes and everything is, you're walking with a swag and you're calling yourself a lawyer. Shut up. This is in front of a courtroom. So next time when you come to my court, and from here any courtroom, you will be foolish to go unprepared for anything. Whenever you go out there, now you have all the tools in your bucket, right? In your pocket. You know what needs to be done. All it needs is preparation. And if you...
What about the judgment?
बता रही हूँ, sir. Closing. So I asked him, I was worried about the judgment just like you. So I asked him, sir, what about the judgment? He said, I'm giving you such a huge lesson. You are more stupid than I thought. I am giving you such a huge lesson of your life. You don't have the patience to stand there. The second lesson is patience. Prepare and stay patient. And then here is the order. It is in your favor. And it is not because I am doing you a favor, but because you prepared and you were patient in those 3 hours preparing the whole thing and coming back here and executing it, your effort will have to give its rewards. So that is where I'm going to end today, because if as women, if as men, we need to achieve equity, we need to go out there and claim our equity, we got to say, this is what I'm doing. You need, Sharmila, a wishbone, right? A backbone and a funny bone. Because without that, life can be quite a nightmare. And if we can have all these 3 and make sure that nobody beats us down. When you're walking on your own path, why would you let anybody beat you down? Get up and fight. What do you think? Yeah, thank you.
A louder round of applause, ladies and gentlemen. That was an awesome session. Power-packed, igniting our equity. Me, myself, no matter what the gender, what the situation, what the barrier. It's just me and me. That's it. Thank you, Ms. Abha. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much.
Can I please call C.A. Sharma?